All right, guys, we want to read our mission statement. Mission of the Dream Team is to have this collaborative community of agents who inspire and support each other to transform our real estate business and go to that next level, guys. So go into that next level in your business, next level in your income, next level in every area of your life. That's all, I'm always thinking like, to the next level, whatever that means for you, that next level. And start living at the next level, guys, becoming cappers and icons with Exp Realty, earning over $100,000 a year. So whatever that next level of living for you, getting next level in finances, where you're not living from, commission check to commission check, and where you have surplus and overflow, living at that next level, guys. So that's what we strive for with the Dream Team. Again, becoming cappers and icon agents, earning over $100,000 a year. And again, we like to say it, we like to repeat it, on our morning calls, because that's kind of our norm. That's our norm. Let's see, I get some people joining. Look like some people may be having trouble joining. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm trying to admit some people and it's not clicking on it and it's not admitting them. So look like they're coming in now. So look good. But yeah, guys, we want to get everybody to capping icons with EXP, earning over $100,000 a year. 100,000 should be our base. That's our base income on the Dream Team. Is that all right, everybody? I know we say it. We say
That's all right.
So
yes, that sounds great.
Good. All right. Capping again. When you cap, you've made 80,000 gross. Of course, the 16 that's gone to EXP out of that, but then you're still left with nice bit of money. But you want to keep going. That's why you want to cap as soon as possible, so you'll have time to run for icon. Anybody run for icon right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, I am.
Okay, awesome. Yep, I've started my icon run as well. It just takes got a couple, one or two more that may be closing out before it should be capping, but I've already started the transactions that are under contract are going to be going toward icon. So I've kind of officially started icon, the run. So that's how you want to be thinking, guys. You want to be tracking your numbers. I know, okay, what I'm going to cap, and then, okay, we just got a few more under contract. So those are going to start counting toward icon. So that's how I'm always thinking ahead at all times. All right, guys, and our vision is to build a legacy. We're legacy builders by creating long-term passive residual income through the EXP revenue share program by personally attracting as many agents to your revenue share group as possible, guys. So EXP is putting a lot of focus on agent attraction. For those who have been around for a while, you notice that there's a lot more focus on the growth of the company. We're going to be at 100,000 agents. You're hearing all the big names that are coming over to EXP. You're seeing the sprint challenge. So, in the early days, we didn't have all that. Nobody was kind of like, nobody really wanted to talk about it much, like, it was kind of something that we do lightly, but now, guys, that is like, we're in a full-blown sprint for EXP to be the largest real estate company in the world. So you want to make sure that you're participating in it, guys. You're participating in it. You have the opportunity to grow your own company within a company. I was talking to an agent today. He was at Samson, 100% company. I'm like, man, I left 100% company because it's all transactional. You do a transaction, you got to go do another one, but which is all fine. We make great money just selling real estate, but come over here and build something for yourself. My mortgage is paid every month. Mortgage bills are paid every month by EXP. And it doesn't take any money out of the agent's pocket. It comes from the 20% that goes to EXP. So we want to be attracting agents, guys. We got a lot. We have the golden egg. We have what agents have been looking for centuries here at EXP. And then all the help and the support, that everything that we do and what we've created here with the dream team, guys. There's a lot of agents out there that need what we have. So go out there and just start exposing EXP, getting on a Zoom, setting up a Zoom call with myself or whoever your sponsor is. All right, let's get into it, guys. We're gonna pick off where we left off on Wednesday. We were talking about presenting winning offers. Did y'all enjoy that on Wednesday? Yeah, that was Wednesday. Did y'all enjoy that?
Did.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome, guys. We're gonna pick right back up. But before we get into that, let's hear some wins. I know it's a bunch of wins out there. Any wins? I'm sorry, any kudos first before we get into wins? Any kudos? Anybody you want to thank on the team that may help you out, support you? Any kudos?
I know I owe some kudos because I've been putting questions in WhatsApp and I've been getting answers. So I'm thankful for that. I know Linda answered some questions for me. You did, Tim did. So I got it. I just saw your note this morning, Rod. It says I need to contact P Water at Maryland.
Yes, that used to be the process. You have to add that to your, well, back then it was your card. Well, it gets added into the system. Yeah. Have you joined the board over there? One of the boards?
No, I'm doing G card this morning.
G card. Okay, you may have to do that little part there first too, then ask them about it.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you guys helping me.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Rod.
One of the combo boxes on mine. I didn't want to take any chances because it's a pain and you got a whole bunch of showings and you're trying to generate codes.
Yep. One-day codes. Can't do
it. And guys, I'm telling you, some of my Maryland listings, like I had some listings in Gaithersburg and I put those combo boxes. They were investor properties anyway. They were vacant, but I left them on the property, guys. I gave the agent the combo. It wasn't worth driving to Gaithersburg to take a $20 lockbox off, so let's charge it to the game.
Wow. Oh, it must have been the combo box, right?
The combo boxes, yeah, the little combo that you get from Home Depot. Sometimes you had to see, is it worth it, your time? It wasn't worth a 2-hour round trip for a $20 lockbox.
No.
Exactly. So if it's at the house far away, you just kind of, you make that decision in your business. All right, guys. Any other kudos? Anybody want to thank on the team?
Yeah, I want to thank Tim. I gave Tim a call this week and asked him a question about legal shield. He linked me up with somebody, so I want to say appreciate it.
Cool.
Good morning. This is Linda. I want to thank Noelia and Shalon for answering my questions this week. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good morning. This is Tina. I want to thank Natasha as usual for holding my hand through my closing process. I closed on a property yesterday. And
congratulations.
Congratulations. And I also want to thank thank you. I also want to thank Rodney. I was looking back at my notes and January 28th, Rodney sent me a message, an email telling me about Cole's Realty. And although I didn't choose Cole's Realty to work with, I chose another company, and the closing on yesterday was a result of the company that I chose to work with. So thanks, Rodney, for the information.
Hey, no problem.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Wow, that's awesome. Her notes, y'all hear that? She looked back at her notes from this call.
Note takers are money makers.
Note takers are money makers. That's right. All right. Okay, guys, let's jump into wins. Let's celebrate some wins from this week.
I got to tell y'all, I got an offer accepted last night.
Mm.
And I was jumping up and down and shouting. This is the family that I first met 3 years ago, that called me out of the blue. We've been looking for a specific house, and we prayed over that house, and they accepted our offer.
Woo, all right, congratulations.
Congratulations, Pam.
Yes,
Congratulations.
thank you. So the agent wrote a note to me, and he said the reason he accepted the offer, they had a lot of agents that said, we're going to submit offers. And I got my offer in right away, and he said that it was just right dressed. Everything was where it was supposed to be. It was neat. It was articulate. And his client said, go with them.
Wow.
So that's a blessing.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, Pam.
Thank you.
Wow. So, Pam, what do you do different? You mind sharing what do you do different? What made yours dress right, dress, and kind of stand out from everybody?
That's what I want to know.
I filled out all the blocks. There was no question answered. I made sure everything was filled out correctly. I had the lender letter. I had in my email, I addressed all the points of the offer so that they knew what was going on. I talked to my client about, because I did CMA, and I said it might be a little bit short of our number. And at the last minute, she decided that they would pull additional $10,000 out of her 401k, and we offered $10,000 above the appraised value. So I wrote that up in the offer, the sales contract, but I also put it in my email cover sheet that was what we should do.
Nice.
And just told them a little bit about my folks, and everything else was good to go.
Wow.
It was the perfect house for them.
Nice. Congratulations. Yes. Wow.
Thank you.
That's a blessing. Good. All right, what's some other wins? I've been seeing all these home snap.
Good morning. This is Teresa.
Hey, Teresa.
Good morning, Teresa.
I picked up a new buyer this week and just sent it to Laura to get pre-approved. And also I've got a listing appointment at 10 a.m. So I'm getting ready to get ready for that. And also I've got another listing appointment coming up next week that was supposed to be this week, but the lady had to reschedule. But just trying to get some more listings because this buyer market is something else.
Congratulations. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
Wow. Good. All right. Any other wins this week?
So I'm late joining on, but I did have a win. I got a contract ratified for one of my buyers.
Congratulations.
I was so excited for her.
Congratulations.
Yes.
It has been a doozy. We lost, we put an offer on Monday, didn't get it, then put one in on Tuesday, and they drug their feet. But we got that one, so I'm very grateful. We're using the Dream America program for her. So it's gonna be it's a cash deal, so it closes in 2 weeks. So excited about that.
Awesome. Congratulations, Natasha.
Thank you. And I picked up a couple more buyers. So yeah.
Nice.
Awesome, okay. Natasha.
Congratulations. You're killing it.
Thank you. I gotta catch up on people like Pam and Rod. So I have my goals really focused.
Yeah, that's
a closing a week. Like Rod, 2 a day. You know what I'm saying? 2 a day.
That's Pam and Linda.
That's the one, 2 a day. Yes.
Yeah. 2 a day.
No, that's
yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Y'all raised the bar so high. I'm like, okay, how can I catch up on Linda today?
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys. Any other wins? So guys, we're starting to, you only have what, maybe another, well, no, we already at the end. No, today the 30th. So you probably got another week or so to close something out in May. You know, if you got a strong lender, if you're working with a buyer, they should be able to still close them that last week. But remember, it's a holiday too, so you got to close on the 28th. So I know I wrote my first one already for June. I got one closing in June already. So we're really almost into June closings now. That's how you have to think ahead as far as like planning and business planning and your financials, guys. We're in May. I mean, in June as far as closing.
We're in June, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much in June. So, you really want to go out there and hustle, hit it hard and get something on the contract. So you got June, something coming in June in the business. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yes.
So, all right. Good. All right. Any other wins?
I had, Rod, I had 2 closings this week, and then I got a ratified contract for my buyer in Front Royal.
Ooh, congratulations.
Wow. Congratulations, Rodney.
Awesome.
2 closing this week. See?
All right.
Yes, Lord, it can be done.
Yeah. Awesome, Rodney. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think we need to be calling ourselves the 2 closing team per week.
Right?
2 closing
Minimum. That's
weekly.
like to be part of this team, you gotta at least have 2 closings.
Gotta have at least 2 closings.
Yes.
Close a week. Yeah. Good. Awesome, guys. Okay. All right. Sound like we're ready. Oh, just a few things, guys. 11 o'clock today is our EXP leadership meeting. And also, if you get on earlier, guys, around 10 o'clock, 10:30 or so, they're sharing some valuable information. Curtis Dixon is usually interviewing like a top agent, or he may be training on something. 10:30 in the EXP World Auditorium, main auditorium. Go in there and just sit and just hang out this morning. You will pick up some awesome nuggets. And then, of course, the leadership meeting kicks off at 11. You want to stay up to date, on what's happening at EXP, all the big rollouts and new countries and everything new that's happening, guys. This company is changing, seems like by the week. This is not the same company that it was, who's been around for, I know Joy, you've been around for a long time. This is a whole different company. It's not even the same EXP I joined 8 years ago. It is completely, and every week it's evolving. And so you want to really stay connected to what I call like big EXP, like what's happening. And it'll help you with agent attraction too. When you're hearing, you're connected, you're hearing from the leadership of the company, some of the things that they're rolling out. Commercial is blowing up. It looked like today they got the certification going at 1 o'clock. But it's all kind of stuff going on today in the cloud office, guys. So definitely get plugged in. Of course, then iConversations is right after that at 11:30. You get to hear from at least 3 or 4 icons around the country and hear exactly what they're doing to be successful. So today, guys, plug in 11 o'clock. You can listen to it multiple ways. I think they stream it live in Workplace, or if you're in the cloud or you're on the go, you can just kind of listen to it on your phone. Okay, let's jump in it, guys. Let's pick back up, because I know there was a lot of great information shared last week. I'm gonna share my screen. So we kind of left off we were talking about winning offers. How do you get winning offers? Wait, I'm sorry, before we get, any guests, anybody on for the first time? Do we have any guests? New agents to EXP? Any new folks?
Good morning. It's LaDonna Simon. I'm not on for the first time. This is my second time, but I am officially a EXP agent. Woo! So good morning to everyone.
Morning.
Good morning.
Congratulations and welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm looking forward to meeting you all.
Yes. What area do you cover, LaDonna?
All of Maryland, and hopefully before the fall, I am trying to get licensed in DC and Virginia as well.
Okay, awesome. Welcome.
Thank you.
Where you from?
Tavia was your
I'm sorry?
Tavia, that's your sponsor?
Yes, Tavia is my sponsor.
Okay, awesome. How did
No,
y'all?
I was asking LaDonna where she was from.
Originally St. Croix,
Okay.
but I've been in this area for about 18 or 19 years now.
Oh, Natasha picked up on it. Natasha's from Trinidad.
Oh, right. My husband's from Trinidad. Awesome.
I used to be much better at it. I could pick up the island people were from quite easily. I'm not sure.
We lose you, Natasha.
We're losing you, Natasha. You're maybe she might be in a bad area. Okay.
Right.
Awesome.
Well, thank you all.
Yes, plug into us. We're here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings, 8 o'clock, LaDonna. So definitely get plugged in.
Wonderful. Thanks so much.
Okay, awesome. So guys, we're talking about winning offers. We're gonna pick off where we left off on Wednesday. We talked about earnest money deposits being at least 1% or more. Closing costs, your buyer. So this is the conversation. Let's hit that again, and we'll pick off at closing costs because I want to just make sure, especially our newer agents. So you want to have a conversation early on with your buyers to make sure that they have the money, and also with your lender that they have the assets to pay closing costs at least 3% of the sales price. Is that usually about right, guys? About 3%, especially 500,000 and below.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
About 3% closing costs. And so if they have to pay down payment, guys, if they can't get a first-time home buyer program that covers their down payment, they're looking at 3.5% down payment plus 3% closing costs. So you have to verify, you have to ask these hard questions. Do they have that money? Because we're not going to be able to get closing costs from the seller in this market. So are we having those conversations?
Yes, sir. Hey, Rod.
And that's important.
I was just gonna say FHA is 3.5%.
Right. Yeah, 3.5%.
Yeah, for FHA.
For FHA, right.
That's 3.5% for down payment, but as far as closing costs, that's different. It's only 2 to 3%.
3%, yeah, for down payment. But some of them have a lot of stuff on top. I don't know if they starting to put stuff on top. I've just broken down and told people, say, hey, have 7% just in case something pop up.
Yeah.
Total.
Yeah, you're right. Especially in Maryland, guys. Maryland taxes are higher. Sometimes it's over 3% in Maryland. Any of our Maryland people, is it close to the 4% what y'all seeing for closing costs?
No, the average on closing I'm seeing is between 2 and 3%.
2 and 3, okay.
But typically, I advise my clients if you're a first-time home buyer and you're saying to me you want to buy a $500,000 home, the first thing I want to ask you is, do you have at least $30,000 to $40,000 saved up?
Mm-hmm.
There's no point talking about I want a program and whatever. If you want a program, you can wait till the market, the bubble busts, like everybody's thinking. There's no bubble busting. There's nobody giving you any money to close on anything. There's no seller that wants to wait for that, because even when it was a buyer's market, you were waiting 60 days on average to close on a deal that you're getting, closing assistance or down payment assistance. So it's important to have that conversation. Another conversation I'm having that I've had people being referred to me and saying, hey, Jimmy, I just went to Navy Fed and Penn Fed and I'm approved. I'm ready to go ahead and buy. I've said, how much did they approve you for? Oh, $400,000. Okay, great. So did they talk to you about, how much money you're going to need? No, they still told me everything is going to be included. I'm like, time out. Now you have to have a real conversation, because what credit unions are doing is they're just giving people, based on their relationship with them, saying to them, you can buy a house. This is what you can buy. Mm-hmm. But they're not doing any qualification. It's not document based. So they haven't gone through any underwriting process. So, and that's part of the thing that frustrate first-time home buyers and frustrate buyer agents, because they get a call and they think, okay, boom, gun ho, let's go get this done without doing the due diligence. Make your client understand. Have a good conversation with them. Let them know what to expect in your buyer consultation, so that you can slow the process down, so that it gives you credibility, so that they don't feel like I say, oh, you know what? Why should I sign with you? I'm not just going to go with Joe Blow down the road because he already told me he's going to get everything done. But you asking all these unnecessary questions, let them understand. I'm asking you these questions so that you can succeed. I tell my clients this simple phrase. When I connect you to my lender and my lender gets you a pre-approval letter, we are golden to go and buy a house. I said, that's the way it works every single time we do stuff. I said, so it's necessary for us to spend this 15, 20, 30 minutes to have this conversation, however much time you need to ask all the questions. So when you know the answers and we get you connected to a real lender, we are certain of what we're going to go and do. We need to be ready on day one that we get into the house, that you love the house, for us to be able to have a pre-approval letter in hand, and for us to have that 1 to 2%, or however much money you have. Hey, you already have 30 grand saved up. If you're willing to do 20 grand as your earnest money deposit, that is a bolstering force for you when we write that contract. But the client needs to know that the moment they see a house and they say they love it and they want to ride on it, they have everything they need. You don't need to be scrambling and calling your lender. Can you send me that pre-approval now? What if it's on a Sunday and the lender is on the beach? You know, you don't want to start saying to the buyer, well, let's meet up so I can pick up the check. No, just take a picture of the check and send it to me. We'll deal with all those other things later on. So you've got to be prepared, making your client feel comfortable and let them know what to expect every step of the way. And then you can reiterate those things as you're going along.
That's good. Good. Thank you, Jimmy. And Pam, I like what Pam and I have a mutual client working on together. Pam, I like your email the other day that you sent to the young lady.
Yeah, that we were looking above her budget.
Yes, because we keep having that conversation over and over. It's like, why are we looking at this? Can you explain that a little bit, Pam?
Yeah, so her max budget to purchase a home is $400,000. And she's helping, she's a partner in her home purchase. So she's looking at homes as well as we're looking for homes. And she found a listing for a home that was at $395,900, all right, which is $4,100 under her budget. And this is not the first time I had the conversation with her, but I told her she didn't have room to submit a competitive offer for that property. And I know that's not what she wanted to hear. So in telling her that, I told her I was also calling the agent to get a feel for the offers that had been submitted on the property. Finally had the conversation yesterday, and yes, they have offers. They are looking to get an offer above $400,000.
Right.
Her clients are they're comfortable where they are. They don't live there. They're out of the area. They have time to wait on the good offer, so she's not really competitive at a budget of $400,000.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, another thing you want to check with this. Oh, go ahead, Jimmy. Go ahead.
No, can I share something that kind of like was actually a good way also? I have a client, 800 Beacon score, and they have about 100 grand saved up. But I had to change the strategy for them. And the reason why I'm actually sharing this was because they were bent on putting 20% down. They have more money, but they've put 100 grand aside that this is what we're going to spend on the house. And they wanted to do conventional financing 20%. But we kept looking at houses, and sometimes they were like, nah, Jimmy, we don't want to spend that much, or we don't want to go high. I said, you're going to be between 10 to 20% of whatever the listing price is. They were like, no, we don't want to do that. We don't understand why we should. Like, it's not fair, this and that. We had all the moral conversations. Then I said to them, I said, listen, how about we do this? Because you keep going closer to you know, houses that are 450, when you say you don't want to spend more than 450, but you're gonna end up being at $500,000. But you really don't want to spend that. You got a great job, everything is great. How about we change this focus? Instead of you putting 20% down, let's do a 5% or 10% conventional loan. And it was like ding, 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 alarm bells went off in his head. That, okay, I can actually afford more, even if I have to push myself higher, as long as I can get approved. Because in their mind, they thought they couldn't get approved if they didn't put 20% down in doing a conventional loan. That was what they were thinking. They thought they had to put more money down to be able to qualify. So it wasn't about the fact that they wanted to put more money down to be in control of, you know, can they offer win? It was more about they thought they couldn't qualify. And that was constraining them to open up their minds to understand that where you can stay in 400 or you can even go to 500 if you wanted to, but you don't have to put the whole 20% down. It gives you the flexibility. So sometimes you might want to ask, you know, your clients just to see what their motivation is.
That's good. Good. You guys, and sometimes when you're working with folks like the young lady at 400,000, and those ratios are really close, you want to make sure that they're not looking at condos with a high condo fee or high HOA or taxes are extremely high on their property, because that could disqualify them. That could
Absolutely.
Yeah, you want to be careful of that. So you want to be smart. It's like you want to be managing all that. I know that's kind of on the lender side, but you as the agent, this is your transaction. This is your client, your deal. You want to, you know, we're adding to your repertoire. So take notes about this, guys. So you want to keep that in mind. This is a nugget for you. It's kind of outside the realtor scope, but it's really not. We're kind of realtors and loan officers. We have to manage that whole thing. So,
marriage counselors.
There's got everything.
Right. You know, since you mentioned debt to income ratio, I wanted to share something really quickly that happened to one of my clients. We were supposed to close today, and it's been pushed again to Wednesday. So the lender that my client chose, not someone I've ever worked with before, has really been jerking her around, you know, the past couple of weeks. And he gave her some numbers yesterday, and she said, well, I'm going to be about $2,800 short of the money I need to bring to the table. She asked him, can I pull that money from a credit card? He told her, yes. I told her, I said, hold up. I said, because there's a couple things that need to happen in the background before you start. If that credit card is in your name, she is the buyer. Okay, husband not on the loan. I said, what's your debt to income ratio? What would be the impact of, because she's now talking about $3,500, of $3,500 more in debt to your debt to income ratio. I said, he's been jerking you around all this time, fixing the loan and doing all these things, but you could jeopardize your loan status by taking out that money and then suddenly being over the debt to income ratio, and you won't have a house.
That's right.
So, and she was like, oh my goodness. I said, don't pull that money.
Yep, that's right.
So yes, we are counselors. You know, we do have to pay attention to all the little pieces that are going in to make this transaction happen. And you know, I always spend a lot of time talking to loan officers, but this one has been more than I've had to chase him down. And one thing someone told me long time ago, I can't be sure about cutting loose a loan officer. You know, there are folks that can come in and take over the loan for your client, and you can still close on time. The key is, though, you got to get it early enough so that you're not having to extend too far to jeopardize the actual purchase.
Yes.
So this was one of them. I probably would have cut him loose early on in the process. Had we've been having a lot of conversations at the beginning. So
wow. Yeah. Good. All right, guys. Anything else? Any questions on closing costs? Everybody clear on that? New agents, y'all clear about closing costs? It's basically, you can't ask for it in this market, and you got to make sure your buyers have it. Or
you can't even add it on top of the price thinking you're gonna get it back now.
Can't even add it on top now. Yeah. You know, the best thing that you can do is talk to the loan officer, see, can you get a broker credit, a lender credit? You know, but you got to explain that too, that, you know, they're going to get a slight bump in the rate. The rate's going to be higher, but then they got to check ratios. If the rate is higher, that means the payment is higher. Is that going to impact the debt to income ratio? So you got to look at all those factors. You got to be communicating sometimes with that loan officer. Okay. Let's talk home inspections.
I was trying to chime in, but I couldn't because of background noise. But I was going to chime in and say one of the other things that also coming up with solutions to help your client look at possible solutions to get those funds. Like, can they pull it from their 401k, or can they have a relative that loans it to them? You know, those are all viable options that they have. And I tell my clients, you want to explore options that is not going to, like Pam say, increase your debt to income ratio, but you do have other options that you can use. I know for my very first house I purchased in my 20s, I used funds from my 401k. Well, no, I'm sorry. I had my family helped me. So, you know, it was, I was like 23, 24 when I first bought my first house. So, you know, they helped me purchase it. So, you know, with the down payment, not down payment, but closing costs, et cetera. So, you know, those are things that we can look at.
That's good. That's a great point, Natasha. Yeah, because your clients and I think about those things. So 401k is excellent. Getting a gift from a family member, so there's a proper way to do it. You don't want them to just take the money and deposit it into their account. So
that's right. Yeah, they have to have a gift letter. They need to go through the process. They need to have the conversation with the lender. That is part of the plan, what they plan to do. Yep. So
you can submit directly to the title company.
Yep.
Yep, they'll send it directly to them. So, and you have to have the documentation that shows. And like when I did it, they had to give, like my parents had to show a copy of their bank statement where the money came out from. So, things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Pam, what were you saying about the title company?
Yeah, you can have that the letter and the funds go directly to the title company.
Okay.
Instead, and use the funds to offset closing costs.
Okay.
Instead of necessarily applying to the house. So there's a couple ways to do it. I had a lender tell a client that if they got a gift from a family member for the loan, that family member would have to submit their bank statements. Okay.
Yep.
As part of the transaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is correct. That's what they had to do. They have to submit a copy of their bank statement.
Yeah.
Warning. I'm gonna give y'all a warning on that. Like, you got the old school parents, because my dad had to do it for my brother. What they need to see my bank statement for? They just so they do have to track that money from the person that's giving it to them, but they want to see something from the bank. Sometimes, I don't know. He got a statement from his bank saying that he had well over the amount to gift it to him. He didn't want his account, how much money he had in there though.
Yeah.
Good.
Old school. I was just talking to somebody in their 30s and they tell me they had $15,000 at home. I said, girl, I was choke you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I trust banks. I was like, how old are you again? So it's not just old people. I was like, okay, you find a bank to put that money in, because if you go buy a house, they got to track that money. So yeah, but you do have to have those conversations are important, right? So we can't neglect them. We got to be very upfront and direct with our clients.
That's right. All right, guys, let's talk these home inspections. What are y'all seeing out there for home inspections? What are you advising your clients?
No home inspection contingency is what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I've seen a few void onlys, but I've also seen home inspection for information purposes only written into the contract.
Yeah.
That's what I do. Put it in the contract, get a home warranty.
Yep, get a home warranty.
Yeah. It's getting worse and worse. You know, it's like you get it's got not even the info with the right to void. They just want it waived completely.
Yep, they want it waived.
If you have a client that is very finicky, see if you can set up a home inspector to go with you when you go and view the property.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a walkthrough inspection. You know, I haven't seen many home inspectors advertising doing the walkthrough inspection. I said I was going to ask a few to see if it might be cheaper since it's not a detailed home inspection.
They're usually cheap. They got I've seen 3 advertise it, and one said 150, one said 200, one said 100. But it's the problem. The only issue is a lot of them are only giving us 15 minutes to go in there.
Right.
And so that's a fast walk and talk right there. So
yeah,
they're getting paid $100 for 15 minutes. That's sweet.
Yeah, that's a big paycheck,
right,
for that little bit of time.
Because usually you got that other agent standing out there with their clients, and they're waiting to get into that property. And people, yeah. Okay, guys. So no home. So you gotta have that conversation with your buyers, because see, they're not in the market like we are. They're still 6 months or a year behind. They're hearing things out there. They thinking they can come in and have a home inspection. We experienced that yesterday. We had some clients. They were talking about doing home inspection. Like, no, not in this market. You can't do it. You want to spend some time right now looking at this house. Spend some time going around it, looking at things as much as you can. But we're just going to get you a home warranty. Okay.
Hey, Rod, quick one. I think I tick people off a little bit, because sometimes if I can find a opening and I try to do a back-to-back, if as soon as it hit the, some client says coming soon, I'll hit a back-to-back, like 15 here, 15 there, try to get at least 30. Because I have had an agent say, "Are you showing 2 people?" And I'm like,
oh, wow.
Yeah, I could be.
Yeah, me
and myself.
That's a good idea, though. I have not even thought about that. Yeah, that will work though. I have somebody else from the team do it. Schedule 15 minutes after me.
Yep. Another team person, somebody on your team that scheduled it back, 1 minute next to you.
Good. Okay. All right, guys. So we're clear on home inspections. So financing contingencies. They talk about the financing contingencies. This is getting tougher too. Financing and appraisals contingency.
Hey, so I have one, the one that I ratified in Front Royal. We ratified with a conventional, but the lender made a mistake. Told me yesterday, hey, we're gonna have to do a FHA. Has anybody ever had that problem happen? And then having to go back to the seller and say, hey, we made a mistake. The lender is saying now that the buyer has to do FHA vice conventional.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's a hard conversation.
Yeah, ratios.
I haven't had it yet, because I feel the energy already. Just thinking about it.
I think I would probably have my lender to be on the phone with me to speak to the agent.
Yeah. Okay. Or I mean, it may just be a quick, hey, everything's still moving. So now you got to be a salesman, right? You got to know how to present that thing.
Right. That's why I'm bringing it to the group.
Yeah.
Ideas,
it's not gonna slow us down at all. He ran into one of the ratios. They're gonna go over the FHA, but we're ordering appraisal. Everything's gonna be on time. Don't worry about it. You're gonna have to sell that thing. Just kind of gloss it over and just so we just keep it moving.
It's only an issue if you make it an issue. But I mean, based on your contract, they can decide that they don't want to do it any longer. But if you can, say, listen, it's not going to affect anything. We're still going to be on track. Be the salesman, sell it.
Be a salesman, exactly.
Rodney, that happened to me last month.
Oh, wow.
That happened to me last month, and it was a disaster, but it worked out. But we had to eventually go back to a conventional loan because I guess the property hadn't been seasoned. So yeah, but it worked out. But it was a disaster going, you know, in the meantime.
Right.
Yeah. I would try not to make it a big deal.
Yeah.
Get the pre-approval letter.
I got it. The lender sent that to me last night. So I
Okay.
got everything in place. I just haven't made that call yet.
Yeah, and addendum, hey, we're switching over it, but everything's okay. Don't track. We're gonna be on track and order up the price. You know, just boom, just let him hear that confidence in your voice that boom, just gonna switch it over. Everything's good. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yes, sir. So finance appraisal, guys. Anybody waiving? Let's talk about waiving financing contingencies. How do we advise our client waiving appraisal contingencies? Anybody want to hit on that? Are we keeping the financing in, keeping the financing contingency and waiving the appraisals?
I'm actually keeping both in.
Keeping both in still? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm having that conversation. I'm basically, it comes down to the earnest money deposit being at risk.
Yeah.
Are we willing to, we love the house enough, if this 5,000 or this 1% that we have, that's what's in jeopardy, or do we have a strong, and that's why you got to know you're dealing with a strong lender and that your bars are strong bars. They have the assets to close, scores look good, the ratios are low, they're not borderline. Can anything go wrong with them not getting this property? So you want to have that conversation, but it comes down to the deposit. Are they willing to lose the deposit possibly if something goes wrong with financing? To be competitive, if they really, really like this house, how bad do you want this house? Are you willing to waive the appraisal contingency? Waiving the appraisal contingency, so that means that the offer that we're putting in, regardless of whether if the appraisal comes in low, if the appraisal comes in 20,000 low, that means we're bringing $20,000 to the table. We're paying the difference, or we forfeit our deposit. That's why a good listing agent on the other side be like, okay, you're gonna have some skin in the game. You can't come with no $500 deposit, $1,000 deposit, because they know you'll be willing to walk away from it. So we have to be good. We have to think like a listing agent when we represent our buyers. We on the listing side, we got to think like a buyer agent, so it's good to be good at both.
The only thing I'm just going to add is basically what you're saying. When it comes to you removing the appraisal contingency, make sure you explain the pros and cons to your client. Let them know what exactly it's going to mean to them.
Yeah.
If the house does not come in, what are you going to be paying in addition to what you already committed to?
Right.
It's absolutely critical. And then once you finish all of it, say, it is your decision.
It is your decision.
So that if they turn around, if something happens, you've done your due diligence. Because what's my concern for a lot of agents is if and whenever this dust settles, that a lot of agents are not going to find themselves in front of the board. That's really what my concern is, for not doing the due diligence. Because we all know buyers are excited when they're buying a house. All it takes is something happening, a month or 6 months once they get into that house for them to start remembering things differently.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's not just about appraisal, it's about everything, even the home inspection. I've had a client say to me months ago, 2 years ago now, in spite of the fact that I gave her a free home inspection, free home warranty that I paid for, and it wasn't a rinky-dinky one either. And she did a home inspection. Every single thing was in the report, all of that. And I said, go ahead. And when she had an issue because she went out of town, left her washer dryer running, and it flooded the basement, I paid for the deductible for them to go over there. And she didn't follow through on what even the guy told her to do. And then 6 months later, she was like, Jimmy, you sold me a lemon. I said, well, let me show you how to make a lemonade out of it.
Wow.
Because I had all my I's dotted and my T's crossed. I said, I showed everything. I said, in all of this issue that's happened, it showed, and I don't need to be an insurance adjuster to tell you this, the warranty company actually, you put me on the phone and they sent you a letter. What they wanted you to do that you did not do. That's not my fault, that your washer and dryer flooded and it caused a whole bunch of other problems. But you can't say that if you did not do your due diligence.
Right. Buyers
will remember things differently. You know, they're in a high, but if there's a little low, things change. And they're looking for, human beings are looking for people to blame when things don't go their way.
Things don't go their way.
It's just a natural instinct. So be very careful, especially newer agents.
Yep, that's
you
good.
don't. None of us have the answers to every single thing. That's why we have this group. Have conversations. Ask people, what did you do in that situation when it happened? How can I overcome this kind of a problem? You know.
Right.
Hey, and real quick, if I can add something, I have another buyer that I'm working with, and they're buying new construction. And last night we got some stuff kind of included, and I felt I had a personal responsibility, although I don't think any of it was my fault. It's still, I still feel as though it is. The situation was my buyers went with the lender, and they're going to go with the settlement package that the new construction builder, Foundation Home, is providing. So the lender has kind of drug their feet on getting the appraisal done, everything to button up this deal. We're supposed to close on Monday. Now, this house has been under contract since February 2nd.
Oh.
And the reason that it's been under the contract that long is because we sold their house here in Stafford. So they sold a house in Stafford, and we're in neither two were contingent on the other. It's just that it sold really fast. We found another house, you know, faster than what they were anticipating. So the lender just ordered the appraisal April 1st. Appraiser supposedly was dragging his feet. He held on to the report. I think my suspicion is he held on the report because the sales rep told him, because of the location of the house, they didn't think it was going to appraise at what the sale price was. So my suspicion is the sales rep and the lender told him to hold on to the report and not publish it, so that they could see if other new constructions was going to close in that community, to make that sale price, you know, make it appraised at the sale price. Long story short, the seller, and everything the sales rep was saying is things we've experienced. Like, VA appraisers are notoriously slow. When they appraise, they come in low a lot of times on the appraisal. So all these things we've heard. So nothing that the sales rep was saying was setting off alarms to me. Well, my client called the VA, and the VA rep patched him through to the appraiser, and the appraiser said something totally different. Hey, I have been communicating with the sales rep and the lender. Here's my email traffic that proves it. They haven't been making themselves available for me to get to the house. Now, the appraiser told my client, hey, if you're okay, if you're willing, if I can get to the house, get the report done, we could probably close by probably Thursday of next week. And so he's okay. He's okay with the information that he got from the appraiser. It's just the information that he's getting from his lender and the sales rep. And, you know, now I'm caught in the middle trying to ease all this, you know, this bad communication and stuff. And so, you know, my thing is like, well, it wasn't my lender that I normally do business with. This was a lender that was attached to the new construction. You know what I'm saying? So how much of this do I accept as my responsibility?
All of it and none of it.
Yeah.
All of it and none of it. all of it in the sense that you make your client understand that, look, even though I didn't get it, it's still my responsibility to make sure that you made whole, that everything works out okay. But
Right.
really, it falls at the feet of the lender.
Yeah.
Yeah, new construction, a whole different game. It's like,
Yeah.
And it, you know, and it feels like, you know, they kind of are holding us hostage because they got the house. You know, I don't know how to tell them. Well, I did tell them. I told the lender, hey, you need to put your foot on the gas pedal on this appraisal because we were supposed to close on Monday. He's saying, hey, you know, I'm doing the best I can, blah blah blah. You know, I'm like, you know, I kind of threw my hands up. I don't know what else to tell this guy. But then, you know, my client, you know, was like, you know, what do we do? And at the moment, I didn't have a solution for him. So what he did was he called the VA, you know, because I told him, I said, the worst thing about this whole scenario is the lender doesn't control the VA appraiser. You know, the VA controls those guys. You know, and so I guess he was listening to that part and it was like, well, I'll just call the VA and see what's going on. So then he, you know, he told me, and you know, last night he was like, well, what do you think we should? Is there any recourse against the builder and the lender? I said, well, I think your best course of action is to go back to that VA rep that you spoke to originally, and because it's a VA loan, that's kind of out of my realm. So I think your VA rep would probably be able to be the best source of information that can give you any recourse against the lender.
Who's the lender, Rodney?
A company called Assurance.
Assurance, okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with them. I've heard of them. Okay. Yeah, and I would just go back to, you know, you know, talk to that rep too, because they're the ones that have made them one of the preferred lenders.
Correct.
They should be putting a little pressure on them too.
I got a question. So what about their rate lock? Because I had a new construction similar situation, and the rate lock was expired like 2 or 3 times, and I just said my purchaser picked your lender, and so you're gonna have to pay every time it expires. You're gonna pay for it because she doesn't have that money to pay for it. I'm gonna need you. So I don't know if putting that pressure on them also, because if we had a rate lock situation, but that might not be your you know, your thing.
I agree. That's what I've done in the past too. Their responsibility to take care of it, because if they lock the rate and, you know, it's not due to any fault of the client's own, that's the pressure I put on them. You guys have to take care of it. The lender, you take care of the situation. So, and the lender ended up using, you know, well, she said that she used the lender credit or whatever, and it was taken care of. But that's what I did.
And the builder, because the builder did it too, because the builder told us to use them. So it was 3 times it was held up. So the lender ate twice and the builder ate once.
Yep, totally makes sense. Absolutely. I agree.
So you're saying any fees above, you know, any change in the rate, the difference is what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
Do you write?
It makes.
Are you writing that in the contract when on the new construction?
No, I just did it off top. I just said, look, we're using your lender by your, you know, your advice. And it seemed like they moved faster because when I did it the first time, they were like, oh, okay, yeah, we got it. Then the second time was like, okay, yeah, you know, the lender said, okay, we got it this time, but we can't do it next time. So then that's when we went to the seller and was like, she's tapped out because she had to be in storage and she has all these fees. So, you know, just paint a pretty picture for them.
Yeah. Okay, guys, let's top of the hour. Let's hit one more, and then we're gonna go ready to close out. Escalation clauses. I know we had a big some training with MBH. Anybody using? Can we just help somebody with an escalation clause right quick? If you're using an escalation clause, can somebody explain that right quick? Help your fellow agent. Anybody using them?
No, they don't work.
They don't work.
No. But you know, I think what's happening lately, the agents are not using them, and that's what I'm getting most from the agents that I try to submit one. We're not even going to look at an escalation clause. So I'm not sure they're working in this market right now.
Yeah.
I don't think they're working either, Linda. I'm seeing more agents adding to their listing in the agent notes, submit your final and best.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's like, no,
Yeah.
we're not going to look at the escalation clause. We want to know what your final and best is going to be. So we don't have to figure that out when we get 10 escalation clauses.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it.
And again, guys, if you do, you got to make sure your folks have the money, or they're going to lose that deposit. If they commit to that thing, even if they don't waive it in the escalation clause, the appraisal contingency, you want to make sure they have the approval letter to go that high. If you submit an offer with an escalation, the approval letter has to be that high. And you want to make sure that they have the assets to go, in addition to down payment, closing costs, paying that difference above the appraised value. You got to make sure they have all that money, because we don't want to waste time. You know, it's like we work hard. We're showing houses, we're writing contracts, we're negotiating. You know, you want to do your due diligence up front, kind of really vet your client. It's almost like we're stepping in, we're partnering with that loan officer. We got to make sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
It's one of the reasons why, oh, sorry, go on.
Go ahead.
It's one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of escalation clauses, because as a listing agent, you don't want to see all of that. It's too much to start calculating, especially when you see the ones that someone's escalating $1,000 and, you know, $500. I'm like, really? You know, just go with the highest and best, make it clean. Like Pam was saying on our offer, make your offer clean. Have the conversation with the client and find out what their threshold is, and just go all in.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Have
a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so with VA, if your client decides that I'll pay $5,000 over the appraisal price, is it better to increase that in the down payment area or the EMD? What's your best advice?
5,000. Oh.
No, you wouldn't do that, would you? Because what if it doesn't appraise and you need that $5,000?
But I mean, he's trying to, you know, win the deal some kind of way.
Okay.
I use a general addendum.
Yeah.
So two things I do. On my offer, I have every single offer I submit, just the same way I expect when people submit offers to me, I include it in there. I want an offer summary page. So when I submit my offer, I put an offer summary page in there and I tell them exactly, we're buying the house for $1 million. We're going, this is what our EMD is. If we put an additional, you know, down payment down, I put all that there, and I put on there as well, you know, X amount of money above appraised value. C, or I just put C general addendum. One of the two, depends on how I want to do it. I can just put on there 10 grand above appraised value, C attached addendum, C attached general addendum. And I put in my general addendum what they're going to do. That way it's easier for the listing agent. He sees it up front and it puts mine aside that, you know what, I'm going to come back to that if nobody else beats this, because that already caught his eye. It's easy for him. He doesn't have to go through every single line of my contract. He doesn't even have to see if every single thing is correct in my offer, assuming it's not correct. But I mean, it will be correct, but I'm just saying that it makes it a lot easier, straightforward. He sees it. You have a general addendum in there. You're already saying what you're going to pay above, you know, your appraised value if it does not appraise. And we can talk about the language that you can use also in that, you know, because there's good language that you can use to make, you know, a listing agent say, oops, I think I want that offer right there. So.
Does that answer your question, Linda?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay, guys, I think that's about it. Only other one I had, title company. You know, sometimes I'll ask if, you know, what's your preferred title company? I don't know if it helps or not, you know, but I'll ask them, the listing agent, hey, do you have a preferred title company? You know, when I'm writing it up. I don't know if it matters much. It's kind of net. They're looking at net, who's going to give them the most money nowadays. But I don't know. Any comments on that title company? I don't know if that matters anymore. It used to back in the day, but so, and you guys, and it's been mentioned also, loan officer, be careful who you're working with. Make sure, they're vetted. You got some deals under your belt with them. I'm trying out, 1 or 2 new people, but it's hard. It's hard stepping away from tried and true folks who you've been working with. Any comments on that, loan officers? And
I keep a few. I'm not faithful to a loan officer because some can offer one and some can, I'm faithful to the few that I like. Some can offer something that another one can't.
yeah,
So I keep like at least, 5 in my stable. And I move them around. And sometimes, I put them on timeout. Like, you ain't do too good on this one. So you're on timeout for a little while.
Yep.
exactly. I'm looking for who can give some money, who can help my folks with closing costs.
Yep. I want some closing costs. I want good reputation.
Yeah.
I want all of that. That's gonna work with me to put the numbers up front and not let my clients wait and agonize over, okay, how much is this gonna be? What's my final numbers gonna look like? If I have to ask you more than once, you're really not vested, in my opinion.
Yep. And I want somebody that's gonna call that listing agent too. Say,
Yes.
hey, folks are strong, be a champion for us, let them know that my folks are good. They gotta be willing to make that call. I like for them to make the call instead of waiting for the listing agent to make.
Yep.
Yeah, being proactive.
Being proactive, yep.
And responsive. Hey,
Mhm.
paying a non-responsive lender.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that the other day. They had already picked this guy when they were referred to me, but it's like, man, the listing agents call me. Yeah, I've been trying to call him. I left a message for him. I haven't heard back from him. I don't like that.
I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's the experience that I was talking about earlier. He made a mistake of calling me on the cell phone one time. So now I got a cell phone. So I'm calling the cell phone all the time. But still, I know he knows it's me calling.
Yeah, and that should be the norm. We should have a cell phone, especially in this market. Yeah.
Especially in this market.
Mm-hmm.
Things are moving so fast. We don't have the luxury of sending a message and waiting 2 and 3 days to get a response back.
Absolutely.
The house be gone.
Yes. Someone was asking, as a new agent, what do you need to do to find good lenders? Best resource, ask any one of us here to share the lenders that we use with you.
Mm-hmm.
We have a list of lenders in our resource guide as well, but use the lenders most of us here use.
Yeah, I think Kyra's down in North Carolina.
Oh.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm in North Carolina. I'm gonna move to Virginia just to be part of you guys.
Yeah, I would just reach out, put something in workplace, or reach out to your broker or some of the agents down there in your market and get referrals.
You know what? Sometimes they have licenses in other states. Sometimes a lender may have a license in another state. So I say look, I'm in Richmond, so I've used a lot of lenders that's from people on our team. Up on the dream team when Aaron was here, I was using him for a good little while, and so yeah, y'all put out y'all need to put out a list because us people from down south need to know what y'all know.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Arlene, who do you use nowadays? I know.
So I have been using David Aikman, Embrace Home Loans, and this other guy, his name is Eric Cowdell from First Savings Mortgage. Mainly because they're quick in responding. Just very good customer service, 7 days a week kind of thing.
Yeah.
So those are my two. There is one more lender now that is a lender in one of my listings, and he's been impressive as well. So I might use him in the future. Homeside Financial.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just kind of testing all of them out. And so far, David and Eric have been pretty solid.
I haven't used David before, but I've met him. He's a great guy, really good guy. I get all his, every time I get a listing, he sends all these marketing materials I can use.
Yes, he's definitely good at that. I've had a couple of bumpy closings with him, so the jury's still kind of out on him, but he's super responsive for the most part.
Okay.
Who is he with?
Embrace Home Loans.
Okay.
His name one more time, David.
Sure, it's David Aikman.
David Aikman.
Yeah, Embrace Home Loans, and he's in Fairfax.
Pam, I tried using, I got the guy up in Fairfax. What's his name?
Richard Johnson.
Yeah.